Okay, so I want to tell you the story of the lion and the sheep. So it's a very powerful analogy. So imagine there's a lion that, in a young age gets lost. So he loses his family and his parents and everything. And then at some point he is on his own and he sees a herd of sheep. And basically what happens is he runs after them and they all run away because they're scared of the lion. But he's a very small lion and he's very playful. And at some point they realize that he just wants to play with them and the sheep. They run away, but then at some point they just stop and see that he's a bit confused. And when he meets them, they just play around, and at some point he grows up with them and he believes he is a sheep, right? So the little lion believes he is a sheep. And then all the other lions, they accept him and his family as a sheep, but they know he's a lion, but he doesn't. He just thinks he's a sheep. And then what happens is he feels like he's not a great sheep and something is wrong with him, he's different. So he's trying hard to be more like a sheep, he's trying to curl his hair, he's trying to, I don't know, also do all the sounds they do, but he realizes something is wrong with him, he's not really good at it. And then the more and more he lives with them, he sort of also hears about those lions, and all the sheep, they also want to be a lion. So what happens is they all start to do roaring sessions, and they curl their hair like a lion, and so they're really into it, and they really, because they heard once you're a lion, then everything will be better, the whole life will be amazing. So even the lion that thinks he is a sheep also, he takes the lessons, and he feels like he's doing a good job, but he still has a very, very long way to become a lion, so at some point lions come and they chase the herd of sheep, and also of course the little lion also runs away because he thinks he's a sheep. He's convinced, he's really convinced, and he believes he's a sheep. And then he even runs away, and the lions are like, what is wrong with this guy? Because he's scared of lions, he doesn't see he's a lion. So what happens is they get him down to the ground, and they ask him, don't you see you're a lion? He's like, no, of course I'm a sheep, it's so obvious, right? I'm a sheep, I'm convinced I'm a sheep. And then they don't get it, they're like, why, what's wrong with him? And then what he does is the lion he's like confused, so they go away, they come back after a few weeks, they see him again, he runs again. And then the lion is thinking, okay, he doesn't get it. If you tell him he's not or he's a lion, he wouldn't get it. But then they think, okay, if I drag him maybe to a water source, then maybe he will get it. So what he does is, this lion, he takes him to the water source and he shows him his face in the water. And what happens is he realizes in an instant that he is a lion. And so what happened before is he was a lion, and how much time does it take to understand he's a lion? 0. And usually what we do is we are all, and I love the analogy because we are all lions in this analogy. We are all the formless, the love, that peace, that joy that is the last instance of everything, and the only instance in a way that brings everything to life. But we pretend that we are a sheep in this analogy. We pretend we are something mortal. Pretend we are limited to the body or limited to thoughts, and that dictates our whole day and our whole life without realizing it. It's become so strong that we really truly believe it in our feelings, in our thoughts, and everyone around us also pretends to be a sheep, but we never actually become a sheep. We're always this lion. And so this is a beautiful analogy, just demonstrating that all of us, we are all this formless. So we are already this formless at any given time. There's no limitation to this. It's always been like this. And that's why it's so easy to become what you already are without having to do anything. Because what keeps us from being the lion, like I said, it never actually is not the case that we are not a lion, but we pretend, and it seems as if you're not, but it actually never happens. And it's, instead of living your life dictated by some beliefs and thoughts you have, it's enough just to see what you are and no longer believe those other thoughts and other concepts and other things. So that's it.